Most prominent voices and least prominent voices evaluation for Hamlet. I would personally choose Hamlet, Claudius, and Gertrude. Hamlet, why? He's the protagonist. He is the set of eyes that we see the story through and understand it through. It is through his journey that we get a grasp of what is going on in the story. His feelings, his actions, etc. As well as the fact that Shakespeare's personal life plays a big role in molding the story as it is. Why? Because Shakespeare had a son named Hamnet. What happened to Hamnet at the age of 11? He died. Now, I feel that Shakespeare personally materialized his grief and sorrow that he felt from losing such a loved one within the story. Hence the reason why the theme of grief, sorrow, and bitterness was so strong in the story. As well as you see Claudius, he as the antagonist is whom highlights the actions and forces of Hamlet as an oppositionary forces. Without it, we wouldn't be able to see the reason why Hamlet acts the way he does, talks the way he does, or does anything otherwise. As for Gertrude, we see that even though as a woman who would usually otherwise be not taken seriously, she has some special treatment. Being the queen and the mother of the main character, I think Shakespeare used this as an opportunity to use her to highlight a lot of points in the play, and thus the reason why she got a lot of text and speech. As for other characters, like side characters like Rosencrantz, Guildenstern, Polonius, or Ophelia, I want to end this with a one-liner. The pure fact that they're side characters, whatever they say or do, is just to either purely strengthen what the main characters are doing, or just to slightly add to the plot as like a bit of spice or salt to it, you know? As for Streetcar Named Desire, Stanley, Stella, and Blanche, most prevalent voices. Why? Because Stanley, being a main character where the story was built around in pre-industrial era, working class men, you know, we saw the story through his set of eyes and we understood it through his thing. And especially in a place where, like, you know, men were like regarded as the breadwinners, and as this being a story about young men, we saw Stanley. Blanche, even though women were disregarded, we saw her as the exception because of her uniqueness, right? Because of her craziness, I feel like the author decided to include her in anyways, regardless. Stella, she was just a representation of the majority of women taking abuse and just the stereotypical woman back then. As for the other characters like Eunice, Steve, Mitch, and everyone else, they were just there to strengthen the plot, just like the other characters in Hamlet, just to add to the plot and strengthen it. Thank you for watching.